Hi guys! In this video, I'm making wine tumblers using a black clay body, and I just share my process of making the mugs, burnishing the mugs, and at the end you'll see the finished results. I'm using about 1.5 pounds per tumbler, which is a little heavy, but I wanted to give myself a little extra clay this time around because I'm just getting back into it. And so here I'm just centering the clay. And now that it's centered, I'm drilling down to make my hole so I can open it up and start pulling the walls. So here I go, just, gently pushing down with 2 thumbs while embracing the little hockey puck that I had made. I'm feeling out the pressure of my thumbs as I drill down in relation to the speed of the wheel. So that's what I'm kind of feeling through right now as I drill down and just keeping things even. And now that I've opened up, drilled in, I can compress the bottom and sort of work my way into opening the piece up from the base outwards, and then check the thickness of the bottom, which on these I left about 1/4 inch. Starting to pull up the walls, I'm compressing the rim just to make sure everything's nice and even. And I'm making a little bit of a ledge at the bottom where the wheel head meets the lump of clay. So that's where I like to start when I pull up my walls. And right now I'm just kind of making sure everything is on point. So here I go with gently pulling up the walls and sort of moving inwards. I try to keep the shape moving like inwards, like a volcano or like a triangle. I think I said that in one of my last videos, but I repeat, it's important to kind of think that way and work your way inwards, not too far in, but pulling up in that direction, like a triangle, like a mountain peak, because that will keep the top from going out too far. So anyway, here I go, just pulling up the walls, and I'm using this black clay. It's from PRNI. It's a 50% grog clay. It's kind of a specialty clay. It's a little expensive, and but it's really beautiful. So here I'm just taking the rim off because it got a little wonky. And that's the thing that is interesting. When I switch clay bodies, which I do all the time, I feel like there's always like a day of a learning curve with that particular clay body, but it's worth it to me because I like variety. So anyway, here I go. I'm still working my way with these walls. And once they're pulled, I'm shaping with my handy dandy red rubber rib. So with the rib, I like to shape. And so I'm kind of pushing out from the inside against the rubber rib to make a little belly. And as I do that, I'm moving the rib up in conjunction with my hand on the inside at the same time. It's not a hard push out. It's just gentle at first. You can feel it out, but that's how I like to shape it. And then I'll go to the outside like this and use the rib. But so I'm getting reacquainted with this clay body, so I'm pulling up again because it felt a little thick to me. So I'm just giving it another pull, and I tend to like to throw things really thin. I'm working on that. It's nice, but it's not always the best, So anyway, I'm shaping it with the rib and cleaning up all the slop and slurry. That's funny. I could have just said slip, but I didn't. I said slop and slurry. Anyway, so now I'm starting to trim it off or just trim it while it's spinning. And I like to get as much as I can on the wheel so I don't have that much to do for the trimming and the leather hard stage. These won't have a foot on them. So I like to, with those types of bottoms, I like to get as much as I can while it's spinning. So I made a bunch of these and I set them up to dry before cutting them off. That's how I like to do it. And so that's what I'm doing in this clip is my little karate kick, just to make sure the little bat, because it'll move when I pull the wire. So I'm just cutting them off now and putting them on a board. And then I'm going to come back to them when they're ready to trim. I'm curious how you guys let your pieces set up. Do you use wet boxes or what your process is? I have a very small space, so, any more boxes is a pain. But anyway, I'm curious to know. So here's the next day, approximately. This could even be 2 days later. I can't remember. But they can go for a couple of days. So now I'm just unwrapping them, and now I'm going to start trimming them. So now I'm starting to trim them, which isn't too exciting. But with the black clay, it's interesting. It's a little bit more finicky. It's kind of bitchy in a way, to be honest, because how do I say this? It'll take any fingerprints. Even if I haven't touched another clay body, somehow there's white B-mix dust on them. So I kind of baby these. After trimming, I use a metal rib to burnish them, which really makes them super shiny once they're fired, but you have to not touch them after you burnish them. You'll see what I mean in the next clip when I start burnishing them. So here I'm just trimming like normal and just kind of rounding out, all the little imperfections. And I like to get this clay super smooth because it's black. You can kind of see everything, I feel like. And I leave them raw at the bottom because I love that look. If I didn't leave them raw, then it wouldn't really matter. But here I'm burnishing with the metal rib. And it's a little bit of an extra step. But yeah, so I'm just holding that rib against it and kind of compressing it, just letting the piece spin as I hold the rib, and it makes it just super, super shiny, and smooth. I love it. I love the way it looks. Look at that. Isn't that delicious? I want to eat it. It just looks so awesome to me. I've also burnished with stones before, a natural stone. But it's, I don't have that much patience, so I just try to do it on the wheel. So these are pretty much all done. They can dry and be fired. And in the next clip, I'm going to show you an example of this exact clay body in a different batch. And here they are. Love this combo. It's 3 times of Chun Plum. And then on top of that, it's 3 times of Smokey Merlot. Both Amaco glazes, fired to a cone 6. They're gorgeous to me. On these, I put a little dimple at the bottom just to have a little thumbprint. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.